So a couple things that were in that trailer that are now confirmed. I guess there's a development chat at Gamescom, which is going on right now, and the developers confirmed kill cams, and they said they're going to be similar to Bad Company 2. So that was a little thing I was stressing about because we haven't seen kill cams yet. So that's excellent. Also, a console server browser going through Battlelog. What do you guys think about that?
Well, Battlefield 2 had a browser server. I mean, I'm sorry, server browser. Back a few years back. Well, back when
Oh,
I
Modern
played it,
Combat, right?
yeah, it had a server browser on console, and I think that's going to be great for the console players because, like, for example, there's numerous times where like I'll play a game and they'll put me in a map I hate, which I don't. Every game to me should come with a map option to choose which maps you don't want to play, so you could just not play them. Because every time I get into a map I don't want to play, I just leave anyway. So the fact that you can choose all your maps you enjoy playing, play the maps you want to play, you could choose how many people you want to play with, find a game that has a lot of players, maybe a game with a little bit of players, so you can get all your friends in there. And to me, server browser is just a lot more convenient, and it lets you get straight into what you want to do right away. Like there's times I'll look for a game in Call of Duty and it'll be like array team deathmatch, so I back out. I join another game, it'll be like hotel team deathmatch, I back out. And I waste so much time just trying to enjoy the game. Like the game is stopping me from enjoying the game. But
Right.
with a server browser, it's like you get to go right into what you want to do. Like as soon as you get home, like man, I want to play this map, this many people right now. Boom, you go in and you play it. And I think console players who are not used to that are gonna love that part of it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's an aspect of that's a huge benefit to playing on the PC, and I think that bringing that functionality to the consoles, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and someone just
It's going
brought
to be
up on the
awesome too,
stream.
hopefully for open lobbies and that sort of thing. If we're able to, share servers that we're playing on, go find an empty server and fill it up with friends and subscribers. I think that it's going to make for a lot of fun because right now, I think Regards talked about that earlier, where you're trying to have an open lobby, you basically have to slowly bring people in because the private matchmaking system in Bad Company 2 especially was terrible to try and manage. And so yeah, I think that'll be fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. So someone, the stream's kind of blowing up. What do you guys think of claymores in Battlefield 3? Is there any like what is the point to having
But they're
claymores?
gonna have claymores in Battlefield 3.
Yeah,
they've
going
been
back to the
confirmed.
Battlefield 2 style claymores. Like what could possibly be the reason that they need that?
Wait, there were
Well, I
claymores
mean-
in Battlefield 2. Well, I guess not
You
on
could
console.
claim more
Right?
an MCOM station or something like that, right?
I guess.
What are you talking about? You're not talking about the landmines for the vehicles, right?
No,
No.
not in Modern Combat 2, but Battlefield 2 on PC, there was a claymores, and you couldn't see them. You just died.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I don't see the point of why.
As
why
long
they
as
need
there's
to-
if there's a counter to it, then I'm okay with that.
But I mean, you start adding too many things, whether there's counters or not, and it's still a huge crapshoot, and then that
Yeah,
means there's skill less balance.
I mean, I think that's right. Like the more stuff you put into a game, the harder the harder it is to balance, right? And the more potential for abuse and bullshit you open the door for.
Yeah.
I mean, with the amount of destruction and everything in Battlefield, and the fact that how fast you die, as long as they don't stay there, I don't know if they'll disappear when you die, but I don't see it being maybe not a huge issue because there's not many like set positions where you're always going to be walking through anyway unless there's a lot of choke points. So I don't see it being a huge problem, but like for a guy who's in a building with a claymore behind him, that might get annoying. But I don't know. I just
but-
never like claymore. I don't like anything like I said with the whole pacing factor. Something like claymores to me reduces the pace.
Yeah.
I wish they would just add stuff to increase the pace. That's why when they say like the game's still gonna have spotting and stuff like that, I'm fine with that because that just makes the pace speed up. Where you could be like,
it's
hey,
the-
this is where everybody's at, it just speeds up the game, and that's why I don't mind it. You know, some people don't like stuff like that. They don't want to be spotted by a guy and get killed. You know, they feel it's like a cheap death or something like that. But I don't mind that because I'm all about pacing, and you know, stuff like claymores, stuff like that to me reduce pace. Stuff like spotting and everything increases the pace.
Yeah.
So
and we did find out in the developers chat at Gamescom that kill cams are confirmed, right, for Battlefield 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also they talked about what was the Wookiee getting instead of motion balls?
I heard they have theater mode also.
That is something they are really going out of their way to say they aren't confirming, but boy does it sound like it.
You know what? They've been doing that with everything. That's PR. They listen to the community 100%, and everything that they're releasing information wise, you know, it's all about timing. That's all it is, you know.
And you know, I did a trailer analysis of the new Caspian multiplayer trailer, and I actually missed something in the UAV section. Right before it cuts off, there's a little thing that says feed rec or feed recording, and it doesn't look like it's part of the UAV. It looks like theater mode or battle recorder. So a lot of people are speculating that.
You know how great montages you'll be able to make with a theater mode in that game?
People like Jimmy Snakes.
Oh my god. That's going to be
even
amazing. If you
folks
think you saw nice montages now, those Battlefield 3 montages are probably going to be one of the best you'll be able to watch on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah, doing like 360 around jets and stuff like that. That's gonna be amazing.
I mean, I shot a guy. I was telling Colin the other day. I was playing on Oasis, and a guy was on a jet ski going across that long river, and I shot at him with a Gustav, and I thought I missed him, but the Gustav hit him like right in his shoulder blade and knocked him off the jet ski, but the jet ski didn't blow up, and the jet ski kept going up the river. So I thought I missed him. But the momentum was taking it, you know, up the river still while I already killed him with the rocket in. And I was like, damn, I wish I had that record. I didn't even get to record it, period. But, like, stuff like that to have with theater mode and everything, and then with the graphics alone, how good they look, and the physics and, you know, the everything, I think that's going to be probably one of the best things they put in that game is theater mode.
The one thing I dislike about recording Battlefield right now, Bad Company 2, is definitely the fact that the games are so long. I enjoy the games, but when I'm trying to record something and you're not exactly taking notes because you're trying to play the objective, you're not taking notes of the time and the recording where a clip happened, you know, you have to go through hours and hours of footage to go find that clip. And that to me is the only annoying thing about doing videos for Battlefield.
Oh, definitely. Still here? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess the next piece of news that you know, we haven't had a podcast in a while, so some of this information is dated. But you know, Battlefield 3 is not going to be on Steam, and you know, is that because you know, EA's trying to drive traffic to Origin and using Battlefield 3 kind of as you know, holding it hostage to get people to go to Origin? Or do you think there's something else behind it? Because I think that, you know, I'm okay with the decision as long as there's a really tight integration between Battlelog and Origin, and if Battlelog works correctly, that you can actually get into games with your friends on the same team with your friends and play with them. If all of that works, then, and it's integrated with Origin, then I'm okay with that. But you know, if it's you know, just business and just about money, then you know, that's a different story. What are your thoughts, guys, on them not putting it on Steam?
Well, it's not. I don't think it has anything to do with that, because I think it's been confirmed that you need Origin no matter what for it to work with Battlelog and everything. Battlelog is going to be pretty much required to play on PC.
Actually, even on the consoles as well.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
You need to have. I believe you need to have Origin for everything.
Well, at least the username, because you'll sign up through the console.
Yeah.
I don't believe you need it for the PC, because I mean, what if you have a console and you don't have a computer? So I think that's what it's just like when you sign up for anything through, you know, EA or anything on when you first play a game online for the first time.
Well, even with that said, on console with Bad Company 2 or any of the Battlefield games, you have to have an EA account to sign into, right? So that may just shift over maybe to your Origin account.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I believe, because when I got Origin, all I did was use my normal account, my EA account. It's the same deal, as far as I know, because that's all I did. But I mean, like they said that that's because Steam doesn't allow. They're very very controlling over the updates and the content. So let's say they go and update consoles. Well, Steam is going to be holding these patches and reviewing them for forever, or just holding them back because they want complete control. So PC people are going to be upset that they're not getting a patch that everybody else has got, and that's what it's come down to. I believe it was in a article or an interview talking about exactly that. It has nothing to do necessarily with just bringing people to Origin. It's the fact that, well, I mean, that's part of it too, business-wise, but it's really the fact that Steam has had issues in the past. A lot of people have been upset, developer-wise, in terms of not being able to push out content.
Yeah, and PC players like to bitch, too. I'm just going to throw that out there.
See, I'm new to PC. I didn't see what was even the big deal. I just went and downloaded Origin, and that's it. I don't see...
Exactly. That's what I said.
I don't see what people were even mad about. It's like, I downloaded Origin. It took like 2 minutes, and I bought the games. And I don't know what was. I don't even know why people were even making it an issue.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of it would be coming from the same crowd that if it's not like Battlefield 2, like they don't want Battlefield 3, they want Battlefield 2.2. They want better graphics on Battlefield 2, and that's they without getting used to the sort of what I thought was an updated system where your spotting was context-based. So if you wanted to take an objective, you pointed up at the objective and hit the spot button or the Q button or whatever, and that would call out a command to your team. Or if you wanted a pickup, you pointed at the vehicle and asked for a pickup. People wanted the Comoros system back. And I guess DICE has caved and they're going to put it in a future build. But, somebody was arguing with me on a video saying that there was absolutely nothing like Comoros in Bad Company 2 that encouraged team play. And I'm like, there was. Like, they tried to evolve that system to have it be context-based, to simplify it, to sort of move the pace along. And nobody embraced it. Like, people just ignored all of that stuff that was going on. So I don't know how it'll play out. Like, people don't want things to evolve, right? They want it to be comfortable and familiar. So, the Battlefield 2 veterans, they want Battlefield 2, again, 2.2 with graphical updates. And, I want to... you can't replace the Comoros. Yeah, people are arguing with me already, but... You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be specifically the Comoros. Give DICE the latitude to try and evolve something, as opposed to, got to bring back that feature. Got to take out 3D spotting. Like, anyway, fuck it. Just play the game and see how it plays out. And DICE is willing to work on stuff and tweak it after the fact. But anyway.
I mean, how is EA as far as post-launch support with Battlefield? Because I know... For Battlefield 2 Modern Combat and Battlefield, especially the port over the 360, they were terrible with post-launch support. There was stuff that they just never fixed ever, and I don't know if how they did with Bad Company as far as fixing stuff that might have needed to get corrected.
They did a lot of stuff with Bad Company. They kind of took a hiatus, and especially I think when the team was working on Medal of Honor. And there was a period where there weren't a lot of fixes applied, but they came back after that released and, applied some more fixes to Bad Company 2, a new map pack and all that kind of stuff. So it was, I found DICE to be extremely good, especially with Bad Company 2 about the post-launch support. And they do take a lot of feedback, and they take it seriously. You just can't deliver the feedback to them like an asshole and expect them to action it. That's not how they work.
I just hate people that don't support their game post-launch. Like, that's what I think Bungie did like better than anybody else. Bungie would put features in a game and then just remove them if they weren't good or people didn't like it. Like, they just completely eliminate it from the game. And then like somebody like, let's say the Call of Duty franchise, there's still stuff in the game to this day that people complain about since day one that's never been fixed. So as far as that goes, that's why I'm wondering if when Battlefield 3 comes out, if there's something more or less game breaking or just pretty overly abused, if they're the type of company that's willing to go and, like, let's say change a whole gun around or fix an equipment that they might have put in that isn't working as how they intended it to be used, and if they will go that far to make the game right if they messed up something unintentionally.
I don't know, like I have a story with Robert Bowling back in the day, and talking about Modern Warfare 2. He tweeted, a lot of people are complaining about fuel and how the rock glitch and the people abusing the one-man army, noob tubing and danger close and stuff like that. But they went and said they were working on a patch and whatever, and literally no news whatsoever for like a month or two. I badgered him over Twitter, and eventually he's like, well, we just couldn't do it at this time. And eventually, months and months later, there you go. But what were they working on in that amount of time in terms of, fixing something that literally broke their game in terms of playability public-wise?
I think, a lot of people kind of complained about DICE not supporting Bad Company 2. I know we've got the overpowered USAS and Segas and everything else right now, but Battlefield 3 is like their flagship. They've been working on it for over 3 years, and this will be it. Like, they'll work on it, and then they'll immediately start working on, fixing parts of it. At least that's what I've seen. Every small suggestion. I started a website called Don't Revive Me Bro because I was sick of Rambo reviving, and they fixed Rambo reviving. Like, it seems like they're really listening to support, and I hope that carries over to post-game launch.
Anybody in terms of their fans, I believe that they know that their loyal fans know there's been a huge difference from before when, we had a huge influx of Call of Duty and more casual players. No offense, I'm happy you got more players coming from other franchises and stuff, and they'll learn and see newer ways to play games and playing the objective, how important it is, and how there's more to games than just kill-death ratio. But that whole thing being said, I could see, the fact that they understand that we're not going to abandon that, their game because all the players have changed. More people are using automatic shotguns and Carls and playing a little cheaper, playing that casual style. But I don't blame them for that, for concentrating on Battlefield 3. It's going to be the game changer in terms of just gaming in general. It already is before it's even out. It's a success before it's out, pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is that if you want to have a closed community that's not welcoming to new players from other games or other genres, then that's just going to screw over the publisher, right? If the thing isn't a huge financial success, then there might not be more games, and I think that's what we all want is support of the franchise. So new blood is good. That's why we're kind of putting the call out there to to bring awareness to playing the objective, and I think a lot of people at this point in the life cycle of Bad Company 2 it's been around a long time, and there's not been any additions or anything for a while, so people are kind of getting bored, and they're doing different things to entertain themselves. But it's Battlefield 3, new players coming in. I want them personally to understand that it's if you take the time to invest to learn the game and play the objective correctly, it's very rewarding. It's not all about trying to go out and replicate montage clips and that sort of thing. Like, there's an objective to the game. Learn it and play it.
I don't know. There's a couple of different play styles. I mean, obviously, if you want to go fool around in a public game, you can't really throw together a private game on consoles and fool around and do whatever. But in terms of playing for fun versus playing to win, the hardcore loyal fans that play the objective, a lot of the times we feel, the responsibility to go play the objective because everybody else is, off in the corner doing their own thing, and that's when the game starts feeling like a job. And that's not the developers' fault. That's not the casual players' fault, technically, because everybody has their own reason for playing video games. Nowadays, everybody is a gamer. Even my grandmother plays video games. So it's like, you can't really, blame doesn't fall on any one person necessarily. And for that reason, it's really just a collaboration of us promoting playing the objective, the developer looking at everything to keep it balanced, and sort of, influencing players to want to. And
you have to make people understand how fun and rewarding it can be, and how you can have these epic battles when you're playing the objective and not just sitting back doing your own thing. And I think it's an awareness thing. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get people interested in doing that and show them how awesome and how fun it can be, as opposed to just sitting off and doing your own thing and going for kills. And if you want to do that, then guess what? DICE is putting a game mode in there for you to do that. Go play Team Deathmatch.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
So, kind of speaking of that, NASA, what do you think? I know you got to get going here shortly. What do you think Battlefield 3 needs to do to bring over the players from Call of Duty?
Well, I think the team deathmatch was a great thing to implement into the game, because most people, like I said, Call of Duty has people conditioned to a lot of things already, and one of those things is the quick games. You know, some people enjoy like those 5-minute games, 6-minute games, and you'll never have a 5 or 6 minute conquest on Battlefield. So I think team deathmatch is going to be one of the things that's going to be what brings a lot of the Call of Duty crowd into the game. I mean, as good as Conquest might be or Rush might be, I don't think that's going to be as much a factor having people cross over as the team deathmatch mode is going to be. So I'm hoping they put a lot of work into that mode specifically, because that's what I feel the Call of Duty players are going to go in and play right away. You know, as soon as they get the game, I don't think they're going to go into a conquest. I think they're going to go into a team deathmatch. So
Yeah.
I think they'll be able to bring over some players, but it just matters, you know, how satisfying it is. I know I heard them saying now it's going to be easier. Like, let's say if you come across 2-3 guys, you got a chance to probably take out those 2-3 guys because the guns are a little stronger, you die a little quicker, as opposed to just like always getting killed if you run into 2 guys all the time. That kind of doesn't let you really get into it as much. So if the team deathmatch mode lets players like kind of dominate, like I was talking about earlier, and give them that instant satisfaction of like, I get to impose my will on these guys and just like beast on the other team, then I think that'll bring a lot of people into it, because they'll play the team deathmatch, and then eventually those people will transition probably into the Rush and the Conquest and so on and so forth. But I think team deathmatch mode in that game is going to make or break the Call of Duty crossovers coming into the game.
Yeah, somebody just made a comment in the chat. Yeah, as if all Battlefield players are pro Saints. Absolutely, man. A lot of friggin' Battlefield. I've been playing Battlefield since before 1942. They play like morons too. So
Yeah.
I absolutely agree that it's not people that are blaming the COD noobs for coming in and ruining Battlefield really need to take a look in the mirror at some of the super duper veteran Battlefield players that play like shitheads too. So I thought I'd throw that out there that there's a lot of bashing on COD players, and it's I don't necessarily think that's warranted. I think that well, especially when I see these debates about from Battlefield 2 veterans saying I want them to put features in that slow the game down. I'm like, oh my god, no. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Well,
Have a hardcore mode that slows things down. Have different playlists that have different features that appeal to different people, and
Sorry, guys,
and make everyone happy. But I think that it's the people that have played nothing but Battlefield forever since 1942. A lot of them aren't any less guilty of not playing correctly than some people that are COD players that come in. I play with Nas all the time, man. He's a COD player, chill guy to play with, and he plays the damn objective like a champ. So, let's not shit on COD players. Let's generally just try and raise awareness of if you're playing in objective mode, play the objective. Because as I used the analogy before, if you go into Rush and just sit back and on attack and get kills, then it's like going into, walking onto a soccer pitch and slapping a hockey puck around with your stick. You're not playing the game. You're not, sure, you might be having fun, but you look like a fucking moron and you piss everyone else out, off who's on the field. So that's another rant. I'm ranting a lot tonight. I'm going to put myself on mute here and resist the urge to talk so you guys can move this along a little bit.
As far as the community goes, as a community manager, we do have that poker thing going on the side, which isn't necessarily a priority. But if we have more than 4 people, go ahead and join up, because there's 17 members, and it's hosted on PokerStars.net, which is the public play money deal. there's an awesome prize. It's going to be either like a 1,600 Microsoft point card for first place, or a $20 card for PlayStation Network, or equivalent for a games or something online. So, it's if anybody's interested, I'll put a link in the chat real quick, and it's already tweeted. So,
Regards, I don't know if you're uploading something, man, but your voice to me is breaking up really, really bad.
Okay. No, it's just I've got a Twitter deal going on for a tournament right after the podcast is over. If anybody's interested, there's a $20 or 1,600 Microsoft point card, first place prize. Hello?
Yeah, you got bad lag on your mic.
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad. It's tough to make out what you're saying. You still there?
I'm here. He might have got broken off.
I'm here. Hello?
Oh, there he goes. All right.
Yes.
Hey, Chris, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. But yeah,
You sound good now, man. Keep.
also
Sorry.
for the Somalian hunger relief. Again, the donations end on September 2nd, and we've hit our original goal. But the last weekend of August, we definitely like to have, it's not a big event or anything, but for anybody interested, even if you just want to stream something yourself on the channel, on the page, or whatever, again, we're going to be hosting some Xbox live open lobbies for Bad Company 2. Most likely have something for PlayStation and PC, obviously. So if anybody's interested, in doing those open lobbies with us, and anybody else that's just willing to play and stream, definitely going to be a good time that weekend. And yeah, as far as the poker goes, right afterwards, if we get 4 more people, we're going to do a little tournament. First place would get a 1,600 Microsoft point card, or $20 card for PlayStation Network or GameStop. So if anybody is interested, I'll retweet the link real quick. So hit up the Don't Revive Me Bro Twitter, and there you go. That's what I have to say right now.
Okay, right on. And I'm just going to rip through, without discussion, just kind of in point form, some of the other things we had on Battlefield 3 that we didn't talk about. So there was some discussion around overtime in rush mode if the last MCOM is armed. And there was a tweet, I believe it was a tweet from Demise that said, I think as long as the last crate in a base is armed, the game should not end. And I totally agree with that. That gives you the motivation to make that last push, even if you have a couple of tickets left, to try and at least get the crate armed. And right now in Bad Company 2, like once you get below like 5 tickets, there's very little chance of winning. And actually, I had a game last night where just that happened. So I'm interested to see if they implement that so that teams are motivated to really make that last push. It was confirmed that the Comoros is coming back on PC, and so I mean we've talked about the multiplayer trailer on Caspian Border, and we aren't talking in detail about the Alpha NDA. We just had it on here to discuss, and I think that even one of the things in the NDA is that you're not supposed to talk about the NDA. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but we do know that is not going to expire. So we're going to have to wait, I think, for the beta to really get into public discussion around everything. And that's probably fine because the analogy that I use, like Alpha is really an early build of the game, and it's like someone getting a boob job, for example. It doesn't even matter how good the after picture looks like. They don't want people posting the before picture, and I think that's kind of how DICE is feeling about the Alpha. So they wanted to get the feedback, and what they put out there as a beta, I think that's going to be that's going to be closer to the final product that we're going to talk about. So.
And then also concerning the Don't Revive Me Bro YouTube channel, we're definitely going to try and get that really going with some video series and more community-related stuff. As far as it goes with the podcast, we're going to be uploading it to there from now on, so people can go and check out, gameplay and listen to these again or for the first time if they haven't before. And then also a series that we're working on as our first real series is going to be Don't Revive Me Bro Pulse. And that's going to be sort of like a top 5, except we're going to be looking at the people that are featured on Don't Revive Me Bro that aren't necessarily really well known, but we're going to take the top 5 out of the most unwell known people and go over that and have some color commentary just over clips and link you to the actual video so you can check it out and leave them some love if that floats your boat. So if anybody also has other ideas for any kind of videos, series, how we could really get more interactive with the community versus, the podcast and the chat here, it would be really awesome. Definitely always trying to brainstorm with new ideas. And again, Somalian Hunger Relief ends September 2nd. So if you're willing to volunteer to set up an open lobby for PC, Xbox, PlayStation, anything, that would be extremely awesome. Just hit me up over Twitter at xRegardsx. Chris, are you there? What's funny is in the background I hear crickets out my window. So,
well, I think that we've maybe I'll wrap this up, and if Chris comes back, he comes back. Otherwise, I think that's about it. We've gone way over time, which we tend to do. And I just really want to thank NASA for taking the time to come hang out with us. Really good talking to you, man. I've been playing a lot with NASA on the PC lately, and we've been having a good time. Just a chill, awesome guy to play with. Lots of fun. And regards, are you going to be on the podcast regularly at this point, or
probably?
What's the plan?
Depending on what the news is regarding
right on.
what we're doing. So,
but anyway, he is the community manager for Don't Revive Me Bro. So anything, feedback, even if you want to see something on an upcoming podcast
or the
YouTube channel, anything like that, definitely he's got an open door policy on approaching him with feedback. So take note of his contact details, and I think unless anyone else has anything, I think that's probably it for this week. We're working on getting... Oh, go for it.
Sorry. If you guys go and check out the main page on don'trevivemebro.com, there's a new link on the top right if anybody missed it over Twitter. It's SAV for submit a video. That's the new place to go submit videos. Instead of doing it over Twitter and then, it's all being hodgepodge versus everybody seeing it and making sure you don't double post stuff, hit up the SAV link in the top right next to store and live stream, and that's going to be the easiest way for us to see your stuff, your favorite commentators' videos, favorite montages, and we'll have it all there ready to go, and you'll get credit also for being the person suggested to us.
I think and also is an awesome.
I'm sorry. Also, before
awesome
I
feature.
go, I wanted to say thank you guys for having me on. I had a great time. Had some good talks with you guys. I appreciate the invite. I know I'm new to this whole PC and Battlefield, so not Battlefield so much, but the newer Battlefield games and PC and everything. And I know you guys are a nice podcast, respectable podcast. So I appreciate you guys letting me on, speaking to me, let me clear up some things, and get my voice out there. And if anybody wants to check me out or follow along with me, my YouTube channel is youtube.com/xNaSaoNe. Everything is xNaSaoNe, Twitter, all that stuff, JTV, all that. So you can check me out there. And yeah, I just really appreciate the invite, man. I always appreciate people who, want to do stuff with me and that I could relate to and get along with. And I had a great time with you guys tonight.
Right on, man. We'll make sure your channel links are in the notes and description where this gets posted. And looking forward to working with you again, man. Been having a blast so far, and you're a beast, and glad to have you on board in the community here.
Yes, thank you.
Legend. Anything else from you, Regards?
That would be it, sir.
Right on. So Chris has gone AWOL on us, so I'm going to wrap it up. This has been episode 22 of the Don't Revive Me Bro Battlefield Community Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will have future episodes. We're not on a strict schedule just yet. We're going to try and... over the summer, we've been kind of on hiatus. When things come up, we're having some episodes, working on getting some interesting guests on in the coming weeks. And obviously, once Battlefield 3 launches, leading up to that, we will be back in full force. So bear with us. Once we hit probably the September timeframe, we will be picking things up. So thanks all for coming out and listening to the live stream. If you're checking this out after the fact, appreciate your support as always. Cheers, guys. We'll talk, if not next week, then very, very soon.